Wendy Williams' son claims he used her American Express card to pay for her therapy after being accused of charging $100,000 to the card. The 22-year-old college student said that his use of Wendy's Amex card was brought up in guardianship court after Wells Fargo petitioned for a guardian to take over the TV star's affairs. They brought up the American Express case in court. They exacerbated the situation. When she was here, the Amex card was our only means of payment, he claimed. Wells Fargo had frozen the 58-year-old actress's accounts in January 2022 due to claims of unsound mind. The Amex was the only source of paying for things after that, especially when it came to doctor's appointments and private planes to get her to and from appointments in New York. Having her here in an environment where the number one priority isn't being at the Wendy Williams show, or to be at certain appointments or whatever, they were more annoyed by the fact that they didn't have the control that they have had over her all these years from my perspective. Because when she's in New York, it's a lot easier to pull her around to certain places and have her isolated away from the family so that she doesn't have any other influences to make choices that are for her health and not for financial benefit. Wendy's only son also admitted that using the star's American Express card was never an issue before the guardianship hearings. I have always used the Amex, always, before everything that happened, ever since I was young, starting in the 6th grade. She always allowed me access to a credit card, whether it was for an emergency or because I wanted something. And what she would do was she would read her credit card statement at the end of the month, and I never took advantage of it, Wendy's son said. It was never something that she would ever say it was inconvenient or anything like that. It was always something she wanted to do because she wanted me to enjoy certain access to things. As her son, Kevin, said of what was normal for him, growing up in the wealthy household, he claimed that he believed once people in her orbit who were employed by Wendy saw how serious he was about her health, that is when issues rose about his involvement. Once everyone else got involved and saw who I am in all of this and that I was very serious about keeping her in a state of healing, and that I wasn't going to take a certain amount of money to bring her back to New York, I said, listen, I appreciate that offer, but once I made that clear, that I was very serious, then it became about certain evidence being brought against me, and transactions were brought against me to make it seem like I was taking advantage of her American Express account. The reality of the situation was I have never had a reason to go behind her back to buy something that I would want. If anything, she'd offer to get things and I would say, Mom, that's a lot. I don't post on Instagram. I don't care about those things. I don't care about being flashy. But when it came to the Amex, they were like, look how much he uses his mom's Amex. And saying I was taking advantage of her and using it for my own intentions, and that was not the case. Wendy's son added that during this time, while she was locked out of her Wells Fargo accounts and was in his care, he was also locked out of the accounts that were earmarked for his college needs. They had also locked me out of my school accounts, so anything that I would normally be able to pay for on my own through my school accounts, they had locked me out of, so we had to use the Amex to get through.